Okay, we're good. Can you see me all right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, good. All right, let me just check the sound. Make sure we're okay there. And let's see. Yep. Let's see here. Test. There's a little lag. Okay, we're good. Okay, we're good. Can you see me all right? All right. All right.
We have someone here already.
Yeah, we got 14 people in the house. I'm going to roll the show out in just a second. Introduce our guest. And let's see. We got Cheryl Piper Snyder.
Hey, Cheryl.
Yeah. We've got Jenna Harmon, Michael Van Patten, Deborah Denori's here, my good friend David Brown, Yusuf Khan, Kareen. How you doing? Over in Eastern Europe. John Garrison, Laurel Gay, Umar Ahmed, and Kristen Skiba, Sonia Croce. And they're coming too fast now. So we got 26 people and counting. Welcome, everybody. My name's Todd Medina. This is the Soulogy Network. This is our primary broadcasting vehicle. It's called SouLSpeaks 5D. It's a conversation with, and today it's Mare Cromwell. And I just want to say to everybody before we get into this, if these shows resonate with you, please share. Mare is a multi-award winning author, The Great Mother Bible, plus 2 other books at the Great Mother Books author. If I gave you God's phone number, searching for spirituality in America, messages from Mother, Earth Mother, and other mischief. Is that what that says?
Yes, it does.
Other mischief at Self and Medicine Woman, Lightworker, Healer, Gaia, Mystic, Author at Self. Welcome to the show, Mare. Thank you so much for honoring us with your presence and sharing space with us today. And I just want to say, on a personal level, thank you for your patience and understanding as we made this a reality in this moment. Thank you for coming on.
I'm very honored to be here, Todd. And, you know, honestly, compared to some of the other Facebook Live interviews I've done, this has been the smoothest start.
Oh, really?
Oh my gosh. So this is a joy that we launched right into it, as opposed to dancing around and trying to figure out why the connection was not working.
Well, this is the 573rd episode. So hopefully after that long, we've got it figured out. We should be fine though. We had a little trouble on my end with reception because of the weather, but we'll be okay. We always make it through. We've got plenty of assistance from our star families, galactic angelic teams, so we've got nothing to worry about. We're going to talk about something specific today that you're involved in that I feel at this time that I want to be there on site. I thought I was going to be out of traveling at the time, but now that I know I'm not, I want to put that out there in case I forget to tell you, but I'm hoping to actually broadcast from the site and follow that whole thing. We'll get into that, but
wow, that would be fantastic.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I'm ready. I'm serving the Mother Goddess. I surrender. So if there's something going on involving her, I'm going to be there. Now, what I'd love to do to get started is just to get a little bit on yourself. I mean, this is a conversation, not so much an interview. But this is a platform for you. But just so that's, you know, as we integrate these audiences, they can get an idea of who you are, you know, what you do beyond the bio. I mean, I don't know if you were born this way, or you woke up like a lot of us in 2012 and said, hey, 9/11 wasn't a hoax, and what else is going on here, or how it all went down for you. But if you want to just give us a little backdrop, you know, whatever you think, for however long you feel.
Sure. I'm a Gaia priestess. I am a Gaia communicator. I have surrendered to serve Mother also, and I have a healing practice. I have 3 multi-award-winning books that you just mentioned. The first one is If I Gave You God's Phone Number, Searching for Spirituality in America. And the second 2 are conversations with Earth Mother that she asked me to put out in the world. The titles were her idea. The contents are her idea, but the second book is Messages from Mother Earth Mother and the Great Mother Bible. And honestly, Todd, I had no idea I would be doing this path, this journey, this adventure. I know it is my soul contract work to be doing this. That I'm very clear of now, although I couldn't have told you that a number of years ago. And I've been studying with Native American teachers for 22 plus years and some other very gifted mentors. And in early June of 2012, I was first diagnosed with lymphoma and was pretty terrified. And I had an Algonquin friend, still have an Algonquin friend, and he had asked me the month before if I would do a ceremony with him for Earth Mother. And Earth Mother had requested that we do this ceremony and said to him this was going to be healing for her. And we didn't know what that meant other than, you know, I was definitely going to do the ceremony. He asked me if I would do it. And then I got the diagnosis and I was determined to make it to the ceremony, even though I wasn't feeling that great. And he said to me just prior to the ceremony that, and this was in the outskirts of New England where we did it, he said that he was going to be bringing Earth Mother's energy and her conscious into my energy body. And he was concerned how we were going to disconnect afterwards. He says, I don't know how you're going to disconnect afterwards. And I said, look, I know my life is to serve Mother, so I'm not concerned. You know, whatever happens, happens. I'm not worried. And right after the ceremony, Mother started talking to me very clearly as you and I are talking, or when you're talking with a good friend. And it's always usually on this side, on my left side. And she said to me, if you surrender to me to the extent I'll be asking you to surrender, I will help you heal from the lymphoma without any doctors, without the meds, because I was terrified. I didn't want to do any chemo. I didn't want to do radiation. I'm very sensitive. And I just was horrified and terrified of the prospects of having to go the normal course a lot of people go through when they're diagnosed with cancer. And so that was in 2012, in early June of 2012. And so a number of things started happening really fast after that ceremony. One, I got a distinct call from the dolphins and the whales to go do ceremony on the beach on the coast here in the mid-Atlantic. And I knew it was Mother calling through them. And it was in the middle of a healing session, or toward the end of a healing session. And I was like, I have to go. And so a week later, I went and did ceremony for 2.5 days. I got kicked off the beach by the park rangers.
You're
and
kidding.
fatigue. It was 10 o'clock at night. I was in the middle of ceremony, you know, and all these beautiful spiritual beings had come in and ancestors and the Park Service is like, I see them, or the National Wildlife Refuge, I see this truck with headlights driving toward me, and I'm in the dark on the beach, and I have to say, everyone on the spirit team, you guys, I have to stop right now. We'd put a whole pause button here on this ceremony, and I had to pack everything up and then finish it in the car.
That's a universal gangster for you right there.
Yeah, you know. So what happened when I was at the beach was I started downloading messages from first the dolphins and then the whales, and then Mother gave me the first message for the first book she wanted me to do. And she gave me the title of the book, Messages from Mother Earth Mother. She gave me the whole table of contents. And then she gave me the first message, which is to her daughters, to us women. And that book was written in 5 weeks in the summer of 2012. It was done by early August. So it was like, crash.
Wow.
Intense, very intense. I was in a very altered state that whole summer. And then she knew I already knew how to put out a book because I had put my first book out, self-published it. And so she's like, now it needs to come out. You have to get it published. You know, sometimes she can have a real powerful work ethic focused on me, which is what's going on right now with the event we're going to get to shortly to talk about. So anyway, that book was written and came out in 4.5 months, which is really fast for a book. It's not a fat book, but it's a fast way to get a book out. And then a year and a half later, or a year later, I thought I was going to move to Washington State and work very closely with a medicine woman, help her set up a healing center. And Mother woke me up at 5 in the morning, which is usually her practice. She likes to get me up really early to get my full attention. And she said point blank, "You're not moving to Washington State. You're going to stay here in Maryland and write the Great Mother Bible." And I told her that I'm not the one to do that. No, I can't write a book with the word Bible in the title. And she just said, "You are the one. All you need to do is listen. You are the one." And so I had surrendered to her. I was still healing from the lymphoma at that point. I'm like, okay, I can't say no. I've surrendered. And the conversation started in January of 2014, January 2nd. And I want to backtrack for a second. When I was driving to the beach shortly after that ceremony with the Algonquin man and the whales and dolphins called me to the ocean, I filled my tank up full. And the gas gauge didn't budge off full for 110 miles. And I'm watching it as I'm driving to the ocean going, well, this really sucks because I'm living off my savings right now. I don't have a huge amount of savings and I don't want to have to pay a mechanic's bill. I'm kind of stressing about this. And after 110 miles, it went down normally. And I said to Mother, after I watched it start to go down normally, I said, are you doing this? Is this you? And she said, "This is so you can trust me. I'm taking care of you. Trust me."
Wow.
And she did some similar, I've had so many miracles with her. The list is long and it could be a whole other book, but she doesn't want me to write that book right now. That's very clear. But when the conversations with her first started then for the Great Mother Bible, first it was wild because it wasn't her that started talking to me initially. And this was, again, being woken up at 5 in the morning or 5:15 or 4:45. The first few days, it was actually the Great Divine Mother. It was a different voice and a different energy. And I was thrown off at first. And then I realized, she identified herself. And then she passed it over to Earth Mother.
Okay.
For the rest of the book.
One was like the Mother Goddess and then the other, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, that's how I understand it. Now, I also want to share that the only way I can do this work, Todd, is because I've had some very gifted Native American elders confirm that I'm working very closely with Earth Mother.
Yes.
And one elder called me the voice of Earth Mother. And another elder told me that my work is in the prophecies, which was really wild to hear. And then a third elder told me recently that not a Native American elder, but another elder who's extraordinarily gifted, she has told me that I have the most pristine relationship with Earth Mother of anybody on the planet right now, which is really mind-boggling for me. But she knows her stuff. She's a cosmic shaman and she knows her stuff. So she works with Mother very closely along with all these other spiritual teams. And anyway, so what happened in writing the Great Mother Bible was when Mother first woke me up that November and said, "You're going to stay here in Maryland and write the Great Mother Bible." I was going to say write the Bible. I didn't write the Bible. At least not the other Bible. I said to her, "How can I stay here in this house? You want me to stay in this house? This house is about to go into full foreclosure." I was renting it from a friend, paying a monthly check. We had this arrangement where she said, look, the bank could foreclose anytime. She'd already lost it to the bank through bankruptcy, but they had never fully foreclosed.
Right.
And Mother said, "You will be able to stay in the house as long as it takes for you to finish the book." And so the house went to auction. Property went to auction January 8th. I tried to get to the courthouse in the midst of these first few days of writing the book with Mother. I got in my car. It was January in 2014 in Maryland. I got in my car, turned the engine on, had my lease that my friend and I had drawn up at the last minute. And the darndest thing was the engine turned on, but then the car wouldn't move. It just wouldn't move. And I'm like trying to, got it in gear and it's not moving. And so I left the engine on. I walk around, look at the tires thinking, are they frozen to the ground? Does this happen? But it wasn't that cold. So finally, I got back in the car and turned the engine off. And as I was walking back into the house, I hear this giggling on the spirit plane. And I got inside, and I knew those were the nature spirits. I work with the nature spirits a lot. And I got back in the house, and I'm like, Mother, Mother. She said, honey, you got much better things to do with your time and energy than go to a courthouse where you're fine. They will get a hold of you when they want to get a hold of you. So what happened was I was able to stay in that house until October that year. Wow. I stopped paying rent to my friend because the deed got fully passed over to Freddie Mac. The bank gave me $1,500 to move out in October. The manuscript was done in early October.
So you mean you stay there for 10 months?
Yeah.
After? Wow.
Yeah. And the intermediary agents that work with Freddie Mac with these properties, they kept on forgetting to send me the right paperwork, or things got lost.
That's interesting. That's interesting because I'm going through something I mentioned to you before. Before the show, and oh my God, I can't believe you just said that. And so I was told, don't worry, and I was kind of shown things like that happening.
Yeah.
Not exactly the same, but I was told this is how it's going to be handled.
And trust.
Yeah, I do.
It's
I said to myself,
easy.
Yeah. And then I was told too, forget the linear aspect, but this is how it'll be handled, and it will be handled in time.
Yeah. And when we're living in the fifth dimension, that's how it is. Although I can't claim I'm there all the time at all.
Yeah.
But that's how Mother took care of me that year. I mean, it was pretty tough. There were some days where I'm like, are they going to come evict me?
Yeah.
But I did a lot of ceremony. I prayed. When I was writing that book that winter, I was doing sacred fire ceremony with the wood stove and ceremony at my altar. And I mean, all sorts of things happened. Sasquatch came in one night on the spirit plane. It was just, it's again, you can't make this stuff up.
No, you can't.
You really can't. So that's part of my background is I have surrendered to serve Mother. And so we could talk about this lovely event happening this fall if you like. We can shift gears.
Yeah, I that's really I'm really enthused about it. Now this is in October before we get into it, right?
October 20th.
Okay, that's what I thought. So I just want to say that I thought I would be out of here by the end of the month because Honey had told me about it. And she told me that, she asked me, would you cover it? And I'm like, yeah. And my immediate response was, I'll go. And then when I looked at the calendar, I thought, well, I won't be able to do that. Now it looks like I'll be able to. So in fact, I feel it. I know it. I resonate with it because the Mother Goddess energy for the last 24 hours for me has been just like you said, get to work. So I'm excited. I'm close enough that I can do it. It's just a train trip over there. And I'm excited to know more about it because there's so much stuff that comes at me. I don't get to go in depth on a lot of things. So I am going to ask a few questions just to kind of kick it off a little bit. So what's it called, first of all?
Yeah, it's important we give the name to everyone who's listening. It's the 1,000 Goddesses Gathering and Global Grid.
And who organized it? Well, Mother Goddess did, but I mean, you did. Okay. And so how long ago did you organize it?
Well, we did the first one in 2016.
Oh, you did one already. Okay.
We did one then. And a little background on that one. I was actually on Facebook in fall of 2015, and there's a really beautiful group called Tree Sisters, and they were using this information, this sort of tag sentence, when 1,000 goddesses unite or Taras unite, the tone of the planet will shift from fear to compassion, and the divine feminine will come back in. And they were raising money virtually, so they were using that as like when 1,000 goddesses virtually unite for raising money for Tree Sisters. And when I read that, Mother Gaia, or Earth Mother, again, on my left side said, and you're going to organize that in the physical.
Wow.
And I was like, whoa. And that was in fall 2015. And usually when she says things like that to me that are like not small projects, I'm like, and you're going to help, right? And she said, yes, of course. And so I thought we were going to do that at a retreat center in 2017, like give us a solid year plus to organize it, you know, have registration and vendors. And then in late July of 2016, Mother woke me up again at 5 a.m. and said, this gathering needs to happen in this fall in Washington, D.C. before the elections. She said, before the elections. Wow. And I again said, wow, all right. And you're going to help, right? And so we pulled it off in 2016. And I rallied a group of amazing volunteers like overnight. And it was a very powerful event. We didn't have 1,000 goddesses who came physically, as in goddesses. Every woman is a goddess, whether they know it or not. But we invoked more than 1,000 goddesses. Okay. And I need to tell you what happened, because this will help people have a sense of that event and why it's so important to do it again. And this time the call is for a global grid, not just the event on the Washington Mall. Is, first of all, a month before the event, I went down to DC with a friend to check out the site that we had requested with the permit for with the Park Service. And there was an ancient grove of cherry trees there. And both my friend and I can communicate with trees to some degree. And we walked into this ancient grove of cherry trees. And the trees welcomed us and then said, we have been waiting for this for a long, long time. Wow. Which was wild to hear, which gave me the sense that there are so many beings on so many spiritual levels that are behind this event that it's just, they're waiting for us humans to show up and make it happen. And on the day of the gathering, we had a ceremony there. I'd asked a very gifted Ocean high priestess named Yeye Amileye to lead the ceremony. And her husband, Chief Olu, supported her in the ceremony. And at one point in the ceremony, Chief Olu did a spontaneous mini ceremony for calling in the divine masculine and essentially offering apologies to the divine feminine in the middle of the 1,000 goddesses gathering. Wow. And he's a very gifted man. And when he led this mini ceremony, he rallied a group of men there at this big, huge iron cauldron filled with sacred water. He was able to reach up into the 5th dimension and pull down this conduit of light that was waiting to come down. And he was the one that was meant to do it. And this huge conduit of white light came in and radiated into the Washington Mall at our ceremony when he pulled it down. And I don't know if you know about Hawkins scale of frequency, but it's a metric for spiritual energy. And okay. Christ, it was formulated, so to speak, by David Hawkins, who wrote A Power and Force, brilliant man. And in the work that he did, Jesus Christ would have been at 1,000 Hawkins scale of frequency. And people who are really bogged down in depression and despair and real low frequencies are maybe 100, 125 or lower. Well, this radiated into the ground at 12,000. Wow. Hawkins scale of frequency. 12,000. 12,000. And all of us who were there got a chakra activation and clearing. People were buzzing for days afterwards. I bet. And some gifted light workers saw this conduit of light come in. And according to this one very gifted mentor that I work with, who knows her stuff, she said this had never happened on the planet before. Wow. And it radiated out 3 miles from where we were in the mall and cleared all these dense energies from that area, which included the White House, the Capitol building, all the federal buildings around the Washington Mall. It also included the Pentagon. That's within that 3-mile radius. And you know, it was all rather mind-blowing hearing this. All I knew is that I was exhausted. You know, I didn't see it come down. And so I sent a spiritual energy report to everybody who had registered for that gathering. And a woman contacted me a week and a half later and said, I work at the Pentagon. A lot of people don't know I work at the Pentagon. And when she said, when I read your spiritual energy report, she says, I needed to contact you because she said, I thought it was me and what happened with me at the gathering. But I can now deeply know it was the energies from the gathering, because she said there's far less shadow masculine energy here in the Pentagon.
There's what?
Far less shadow masculine energy in the Pentagon.
Yeah.
Which was really wild to hear. But I need to add one piece here, which is really important. That conduit of white light that came in was divine masculine energy from the great central sun, the center of our omnicosmos. It wasn't divine feminine energy that came in. That didn't make sense to me at first, but then I've come to realize that for the divine feminine to really truly come back into the planet, the divine masculine has to be here first.
I just got a huge validation on that. Whoa. What? And this was in 2016? 2014. 2014?
No. Sorry. 2016.
2016. So it's 2018. Wow. Yeah.
Interesting. So you just experienced something with my sharing that.
Yeah. They just came in and told me. Like, bingo, like, and let me see what it was saying. Basically, it was saying, because it wasn't just saying she's telling the truth. It was way beyond that. Something to do with, I think that like marking, because you remember it was like what, late 2015 when the divine feminine started coming out and everybody was writing about it, you know, and she's spreading her wings and she's back and mama's home and all that. But to me, it was like that was the beginning on the linear of that true divine masculine energy being implanted. I don't know. I just got that. It was screaming in my ear.
Wow. Well, you know, it's interesting because what I've also come to understand, and there may be people who don't agree with me on this, but for the divine feminine is not completely here yet. Because in order for her, quote unquote, her, to fully be here back in these earthly planes, she is the purest innocence.
Yeah.
And she needs to be protected.
I agree.
Space has to be held for her to be safe here. And that is the role of the divine masculine.
Yeah, I agree. I think there's an ing on it right now. In other words, it's happening. It hasn't happened.
Yes.
It's happening, yes. But and Anna, let me ask you about this real quick. I don't want to get off the subject, but
no, it's okay.
It seems like, to me anyway, in the work that I do and in my own perspective as well, of course, in my relationship with Morgan, it seems like that it's like, you know, the energy of her was up here, he was kind of here, and now it's starting to come like this and starting to kind of like even up a little bit. I don't mean even up as in everything's okay. I just mean like it's almost like we're starting to rise together. And I see that energetically out there. I don't just see it in my own life. What are your thoughts on that?
There is so much happening right now. I want to agree with you. I don't have a huge pulse on all of the planetary shifts. I do know that the energies are really rising on the planet, and it's kicking us to heal. It's kicking us to step into who we are as divine beings, embodying the divine feminine and the divine masculine that we all have within us. I have a masculine side. Yeah. I have a feminine side. And the energies are really pushing us to step into it and heal, do the inner work, do the inner work, do the inner work.
Yeah. It's in our face, you know.
Yes, it is in our face.
And I'll just end with this because I really want you to get back to what this is really primarily for. And I'm definitely going to ask you to do some follow-ups with your fellow divine feminines who are involved with it, because I really want to get behind this.
Thank you.
I proclaim that now, but I was just going to say, you know, I started Soulogy 7 years ago, and it was about 75-25. And since the beginning of the year, it's dropped down to about 63% female and 37 male. So it's that, I think that's kind of, you know, to me, the linear always kind of lags behind the energetic. And, yeah, I hear you. It's still, the focus isn't on that. It is on the inner work and the in your face, get the last little bit of this and that out of there, because I've seen that with me and everybody else right now. So you did this in 2016. Thank you for letting me share that. You did this in 2016, and then you skipped 2017.
Well, we wanted to do it last year, honestly, and we had every intention of doing it, but we just didn't raise enough money. And I just want to put a plug out to everyone who's watching this, who really embraces the vision of this, is if you can make a donation, please make a donation at our website. It's 1000 goddesses.net. I'm sure, Todd, at some point we can post that in the comments or something.
I think we can do better. We can do better than that.
Well, whatever you can do would be fantastic.
We can do better than that. Yeah.
But we wanted to do it last year, but you know, I actually went broke on it in 2016. I went into debt. It was more than broke, but I totally trust Mother, and she says, "Honey, you're so taken care of." So
how much do you think you need? And if you care to share it, how much do you have so far?
Well, yeah, let's get down to the nitty gritty. We have raised close to $5,300, and it would be great to have another 20,000, 21, 22,000 on top of that.
So you're looking to get 25,000, right?
Approximately, yeah.
Okay, and so where was I with this? Okay, so part of what I've been receiving for about 3 years, and really over the last 3 weeks, really came home and hit hard. In fact, I wrote Lisa Brown today because she kind of triggered it this summer. The final pieces is that Soulogy's part of the team to initiate this 5D plus commerce that's based on the honor system and paying it forward. So we'll get on this and tomorrow, and we'll get behind it, and because I want to be there. I'm going to be in the States at that time, so I want to be there, and I want to assist and help you guys, help us. So that can be part of the role too, because we have a very good network. So
thank you. That would be huge. And I also want to share, Todd, that at the gathering this fall, there are two aspects of it which are very much prominent, coming from the Spirit Council that's in charge of this gathering and Global Grid. One is the Global Grid piece that we're calling the Spirit team up here, which are not physical, they're up here, are saying there needs to be a global grid of sacred circles all around the world linked in with this to, as I heard it from the spirit planes, to activate the divine feminine energetic grid of the planet. It's already partially activated, but this day has the potential on October 20th to really solidly activate it. And so that's one of the calls. So to all your listeners, everybody who's out there, it's really easy to link in, do ceremony wherever you are that day, either by yourself or 2 people or 3 people or larger than that. Join us, and please register your ceremony with us on the website, 1000goddessesgathering.net. Again, 1000goddesses.net. The second big call from the spirit plane request, I'll word it as request from them, is the divine masculine has to be there. And so I love that you are planning to come, because we are putting together a divine masculine team.
I'll be there.
And they're all going to be wearing white, all the men with orange sashes. They're going to be holding space around the outside of the whole ceremony. And at one point during the ceremony, they're going to come in to the goddess sculpture in the middle of the event, and there'll be a ceremony focusing on the divine masculine, and then they're going to go back out to the outer circle. And I'm getting chilly bumps just saying that to you. You're feeling that energy.
And the other thing is we got a really strong network, and of course I get to look at the metrics and the demographics and by region. So as far as connecting that grid, we'll be able to do that. We'll be able to help because we can go specific regions and get commitments. We can
Fantastic. Yeah, and just one other thing. Hopefully all the registration is on Eventbrite. And so we have the grid registration if you're a regional coordinator or satellite event, and then just registering for the DC event. Just It's all on Eventbrite, but all that information's through the website. And we hope that all those, or most of those who do the regional events, will register. So we have a map that's growing on our website showing the pinpoints around the planet. There's already an event in France, and one in Vancouver, Canada, and one in Italy, and a number in the United States, and possibly one in Costa Rica. And so it's just starting.
Yeah.
And my goal between now and October 20th is to make sure I get enough sleep.
Oh my. So okay. So now let's talk about what's going to happen there. How long does it last? What's going to happen?
Yeah,
on the local.
Sure. The event is from 11 a.m. to 5 p.m. And we are going to have a goddess sculpture in the middle and 4 altars devoted to the 4 races of the planet on the periphery. And these are all being created and coordinated by women from those races. I have a Native American woman, Indigenous woman, who's actually mixed from South America and doing the native altar, et cetera, et cetera. The ceremony itself will start on the stage with invocations and some singing and learning some chants. And then we're going to create a massive set of concentric circles around the goddess sculpture and chant. And then people are going to find their seats. And we have 4 very gifted priestesses who are going to be leading mini ceremonies in the midst of this larger day of ceremony. And 3 of them are actually coming from California. It's amazing. There's going to be a gifted priestess named Christy Michaels, who's going to do a ceremony to Mary Magdalene. She is a tremendous priestess who's also a historian and knows the Gospel of Mary Magdalene really well. There's going to be another priestess named Celestine Starr, who's going to do a ceremony to Isis, Isis. She's amazing. She is, it's hard for me to give you her exact bio, but she's a remarkably gifted, very powerful goddess, priestess out of California. Kate Rogers, who has a mystery school that she leads, is going to do a ceremony to the Virgin Mary, to Mother Mary, whose birthday is today, by the way. Happy birthday, Mother Mary. Yeah, they think it is. This church has celebrated that for eons, but they actually don't know exactly what day she was born. So anyway, Kate Rogers is going to do a ceremony to the Virgin Mary. And then the 4th priestess is a very gifted Oshun high priestess based out of Baltimore, named Latavia Doyen Jones, Yeye Doyen. And she's going to lead a ceremony to Oshun. And actually, she and her priestesses are going to be coordinating smudging stations at the gathering. That's very important. And they did that in 2016. They volunteered to do that, which I thought was so fantastic. They called me out of the blue, messaged me out of the blue, and I think it was early October 2016, says, "Do you need smudging? Do you need people to smudge?" And I'm like, "Yes, we'll be there. We'll do it." And they came all dressed in white, these white priestesses, and it was beautiful. And they're going to do the same thing.
Amazing.
And so then we're going to have, then there's going to be a mini ceremony for the Divine Masculine at the gathering, all at the base of the goddess sculpture. Then also a ceremony. This was on the spirit plane. This was requested. A ceremony offering love and compassion to the whole gay, lesbian, trans, bi community.
Yeah.
That's just really important for that love, healing energy to come forward. And that has been requested, again, from the council up here. And then we're going to do a big sacred dance, goddess dance, around the lake there, where we're going to be there at the Washington Mall. It's called Constitution Gardens is the name of the location on the mall. And
that's a big piece. I mean, it's a big body of water.
It is. So we're going to chant, and we sell sacred veils, sacred silk veils. So the idea is get a veil from us or bring your own veil. We can't sell them at the mall, so you have to get them in advance. And we're going to dance and chant and really activate that lake to really, really high vibrational frequency.
That's a powerful thing, being in a body of water, especially where it's at.
Yeah, exactly. And then we're going to have a few healing stations, quote unquote, in a children's area. There's a woman who's such a delight named Edie Weinstein who does hugging. She has hugging stations at public events. So she's going to come down and have a team with her, and they're going to be offering hugs to everybody who wants hugs. Oh, we're going to have chocolate stations because the goddess needs her chocolate.
Yeah, right.
So we're asking everyone to bring chocolate to share. And then we're going to have singing on the stage toward the end of the afternoon, and then that's going to wrap it up.
Cool. I'll see. I write a special piece for it in case y'all need someone to fill in. I'll write a special one on them. I haven't written one on the Mother Goddess.
What are you going to write? A song, you mean?
Yeah, I do Soul Speaks. I've written probably about 300 of them. I have a radio show. I call it a radio show. It's a music show where I play videos and I it's not singing, it's not rapping, it's soul speaking. It's in the middle.
Oh wow, wow.
Yeah.
Well, if there's a space in the schedule, I'll let you know. I'm getting so many requests from people who want to be part of the schedule, and I'm like, I'm really sorry, you guys. The schedule is set. You know, the spirit team here downloaded it a few months ago. But we really want people to come to hold powerful, sacred space with us.
How many people do you expect right now?
Oh, there's a big question. You know, I'm putting out there between 800, 900 people. It could be more.
That's a lot of people.
If we get over 1,000, the Park Service might ask us to rent porta potties. So I'm keeping the number lower than 1,000.
Let's get 999.
Right. Well, the good news is there are bathrooms really close to permanent bathrooms really close to where we are.
Well, I'll fabricate a press pass, and that'll be one less person they'll count.
You go ahead and fabricate that, Todd. That sounds fantastic to me.
I'll find some type of mobile recording.
So, you know, I'm actually getting a message on the spirit plane right now. Can I share this?
Yeah, I'm probably getting the same one.
That would be interesting if we are. This is really going to be a party. And this, not to go off too much on a tangent, but we actually have a new Earth Mother here who's our new planetary caretaker. When I say new, she took the reins a couple years ago. And I call her Mother Gaia. I actually don't refer to her as Earth Mother to make the distinction between the other older Earth Mother who's no longer here on the planet. She is in rehab off planet. She got really exhausted, and I don't know how many hundreds of thousands of years she was in that stead. But this current Mother Gaia, we've kind of shifted from the gray Gandalf to the white Gandalf. That is the metaphor that I use for her. And she has a sacred union partner named Guy. And she actually came into the planet 800,000 years ago, this new Mother Gaia, and she was starting to take over as a new planetary caretaker then, but then she got captured and trapped into a vortex, actually in a valley in Costa Rica. And some darker beings who were powerful enough to do that had her enslaved and were using her energy for their darker purposes. But some very gifted light workers found her in the summer of 2012, the same summer I did that ceremony and had Earth Mother come into me. They found her and they released her. And it wasn't for a couple months that they began to realize that she was meant to be our planetary caretaker. But when they found out who she was, she shared with them in the process of them releasing her and her being freed. And a bridge actually collapsed in the valley at that time because of the amount of energy that was released when she was released. She said that her sacred union partner was not able to make it into the planetary multidimensional zones when she came in 800,000 years ago. And so these light workers went and found him and brought him in. And when they brought him in, when they were reunited, Mother Gaia and Guy, they went off in seclusion for a couple of days, as you can imagine long lost lovers do. And when they emerged after being in seclusion, they had actually birthed a child, an offspring. And for those of your listeners who are very, very gifted people, they may see her. She goes by the name of Geodesica. And she's coming in right now spiritually. Do you feel her energy?
I feel something.
She's very sparkly. Very, very sparkly. And Geodesica is on her own right now. She didn't need to go to elementary school and high school and all that. You know, she's been birthed, she's matured, she's off on her own, and she's activating all over the planet. She's part of the ascension crew, so to speak, activating. That she sees the 1,000 Goddesses gathering as a big party for her.
Just like a teenager.
And so she's going to be there activating everything right, left, and center. And she wanted me to tell this story just now about her and Mother Gaia and Guy. Mother Gaia and Guy are, Guy's very quiet. He's like the silent, strong, masculine type. And Mother Gaia, you know, it plays a very, very important role these days, obviously. And I work very closely with her because my rapport with the former Earth Mother has shifted completely over to now working with Mother Gaia. But Geodesica is looking forward to this gathering. It's going to be a big party.
I got a couple of comments here. Let me just, first of all, our good friend Jenna Harmon, we have a really, really strong following in 3 or 4 Australian markets, and she's in Sydney, and she's been with us. You know, she's been a supporter and part of Soulogy for probably 4 years, 5 years.
Wow.
Anyway, she said she will, and she'll do it. She's a hell of a goddess. I mean, she's straight up. And
I'm getting chilly bumps on that.
Yeah,
so Jenna, if you want to organize a satellite event, please, that'd be amazing.
Yeah, and we'll help connect the dots here, and I'll get Jenna to help me. Because she's that type. But anyway, she's in Sydney. Somebody else said here, let's see, any info on the Vancouver thing. So again, on the one that's happening in Vancouver. So
yes, it's happening. It's happening. And the woman who's organizing it is Angela Pryder.
Okay.
And Angela, I just messaged, I'm getting chilly bumps on that. Whoever you are in Vancouver, something's going on that's really powerful with you connecting with Angela, because I'm getting all this energy from Mother Gaia. Wow. Yeah. Whoever you are, I'm honoring you who asked that question. Angela Pryder is the woman in Vancouver. And I just messaged her 2 days ago, and she says she's going to get back to me about information about their event and how to post. Because right now I don't have a link on our website. I don't have the link from her yet, how to direct people.
That's Linda Winger that said that. And then Susan, Linda's a big supporter and part of this too. Susan Madsen had asked, why is it only in the USA? And I think we just kind of answered that. It's not. It's not. There's satellite events. Anyone that wants to do one, as you were saying, she must have came in later. I just wanted to make sure. Okay.
Can I also add to that? Oh, is there another question? Did you want to?
No, I wanted to make sure because I saw them fly by while you were talking.
Okay. On the website, if for those who want to do a satellite event, please think about organizing one, even if you're on the fence, you're not sure how to do that. If you go on the website, there's a header called Global Grid, and it's a drop-down menu. And the very first drop-down option is how to join the Global Grid. And there are a series of steps. 1, register. 2, make a donation if you can, or, donate after your event, raise money there. And please send it back to us for all of our work too, if you can. But 3, we have a page. I put a page up there of ceremony suggestions, to guide people what to do. Okay. And as a matter of fact, we just made an agreement. I made an agreement with a partner who's doing a lot of promotion for us. And for anybody who donates $25 and over, you will be emailed a packet, a very simple packet on how to do a Divine Feminine 1,000 Goddesses Gathering ceremony. It's already there on the website, but I'm going to format it up so it can just be sent off as a PDF.
We've got some people putting it in 1000goddesses.net. Is that right?
Yeah, it's the number 1000goddesses.net.
Yeah. So they've got that on there, and then asking about other and we will. It's not me. Soulogy will help you connect the dots with a at a minimum with our crowd, because that's our strength. I would like to do. This came to me was and I was supposed to say this, is that if I can't go, I already have someone to go in my place, and that's confirmed. That's already confirmed because something came back to me that was said earlier, and then I just was reminded to say that. So we'll definitely figure out a way to video and catch audio of the event. So you'll have that. You know,
do you think? Go ahead. Sorry.
I'm just saying, so we can have that footage because we can put that in our channel feed, and of course build an archive with it for you.
You know, would that be for the whole day? You would be able to do that from 11 to 5?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, because, you know, I was going to try to recruit a volunteer.
Unless you want me to do, the only time I wouldn't is if you want me to do a soul speak for 3 or 4 minutes and rock the place. And based on this this child that was born, if you catch my radio shows, I'm sure she's going to want me to do it.
Well, all right. I'll have a conversation with you and Jessica about that.
Yeah, I know her answer would be yes, I can promise you. But all I was going to say is yes, that's what I'm talking about. What I'm talking about is actually, we tried this with a couple of things already. I didn't have the technology. Now I do have what I need.
Wow.
And so I can tell you that, yeah, that's the idea. So the only thing we would lack would probably be backup batteries and that type of thing. But I'm sure we can work that out. That's not going to be a problem.
Wow. Okay. Fantastic.
So yeah, I will tell you right now, I can commit to that. Me and my brother, who is actually going to be here tomorrow, and I know we can commit to that.
Wow. Wow. Well, thank you. Mm-hmm. Thank
Absolutely.
you. Maybe one less thing for me to have to coordinate then, which I'm very grateful to take off my list.
It's just a train trip, you know, from New York City to Washington. It's not that far.
You know, so long as we're talking about to-dos for the day, I'm just going to put it out there. We need a stage manager. We still haven't found a stage manager. And I know we're going to find one, but right now I'm putting it out there as you and I are talking that the universe is going to provide, Mother's going to provide. But if anybody in this listening community knows a stage manager who'd like to volunteer for the day, I'm all over this. Have them contact me via the website. Yeah, there are lots of moving parts to this event.
Yeah, somebody's in the back of my head, and I can't think of who it is right now. Somebody that's right up their alley, and I know they're in that region, maybe south of there. I can't remember right now, but I'll remember. Yeah. So just, I'll say this as we hit 5:55.
I know. I was just seeing that.
Let's connect. Let's connect. I'm actually going to go into a semi-isolation Tuesday for about 10 days to kick off this 24-hour day universal cast with the multiple channels and all. And but I will be doing shows, but I'm going to strictly be doing a lot of just tech stuff. And so that'd be a good time to touch base, like Tuesday or Wednesday.
That'd be great.
Yeah, so we can get this a little bit more coordinated because, you know, I've learned that it takes a lot more than a post. It takes a lot more than making a page or making an event. It takes a lot of follow up, and you know what? We got a lot of energy behind it, and today this is a very synchronistic alignment, and it makes sense, and I feel it. So
there's one other thing I wanted to mention, Todd, before we get off here, and that is that to also help raise money for the gathering and to bring some more awareness to some of the priestesses and the goddesses that they'll be focusing on. I'm going to be interviewing 3 of them in a mini webcast series starting September. What is the date? Anyway, it's the 3rd Wednesday in September, I believe. It's 18th or 19th. And people can register that, and it'll be on Zoom. And it's only $37.77 for 3 interviews, 3 weeks in a row, to learn more about these goddesses. These are women who have devoted their lives to Isis, Mary Magdalene, and Oshun, who are deeply, deeply immersed in these goddesses, these divine feminine beings. And an hour is barely enough time to really touch the surface of what these women know, but they're going to be bringing forward some really interesting wisdom and knowledge. And And then at the gathering itself, they will be leading mini ceremonies.
Right.
So for those who can't make it to DC but want to become immersed in it energetically, you can join our webcast series. It's a very low fee, actually. For those who can make it to DC, it'll give you an orientation, more of an orientation to some of these goddesses from these priestesses. You know, it's going to be really interesting.
Anything that you have from here forward that you want to get some expanded awareness on it, just send it to me. Send me the link and you know, whatever, you know, some kind of explanation as to what it is, and I'll put it through the network, because we've got I don't know how much our reach is, because I've had to go to using my personal page because of the way Facebook was set up with the pages and the groups, but we've got 60,000 hard numbers, and they're very active too. It's not just a number. And then I know from our past, when we were using the studio page, our reach was over 500,000 a week. So,
wow.
So anything that you want to get some exposure on, I spend 2 or 3 cycles a day just feeding the machine, you know, and getting and permeating the network with, you know, posts and different things. So you just send it to me and I'll do that part.
Thank you.
Because I do it every day.
I would give you a huge hug right now if I could.
I'm here to serve. I surrender to the Mother Goddess. She had to send one of her own and beat me over the head for 3 years.
It's an honor. It's an honor to be connecting with a man who has so deeply embraced his divine feminine.
I resisted, and I was the beneficiary. Also, I understand that I brought that in some way, but until the 27th of July, you know, I hit my knees and I said, I surrender. I'm done. Take it all. Take everything. Take my manhood. Take it all.
Oh no, you don't want to lose your manhood.
Well, I'd say I was at that point. I said, I don't care. You can just
take it all.
Neuter me. I don't care.
Oh my God.
But as the time's gone on since then, it's becoming more and more. And that's why I said yesterday, about 24 hours ago, maybe 28 hours ago, I had a really good communion, strong, powerful communion with the Mother Goddess. And so a lot's happened since then. I had a great show prior to this on a subject that was very much in line with a gentleman, a friend of mine, who really had some key insight for men that I think could understand a little bit better at this stage in the game. So we're getting there, you know, and I felt something when Honey talked about this. I was like, oh, wow, I'm going, you know, because I've seen it for a while. I can't recall what it was the first time, but I thought I see it where we're actually on the ground and we're streaming, you know, events, right? Mm-hmm. That's what Soulogy is. It's a platform. So, and it's the Mother Goddess's platform. It's the Mother Goddess's voice. So it only makes sense.
Wow.
But at the time I thought I would be, and I could be, there's a chance I could be, but we've got backup and we've got a team that's actually coming into the fold now, so we'll be there. I'm telling you right now, I promise we will.
Well, I am so thrilled that you and I are connecting, and that Honeybee she's amazing. She connected us. She's connecting me and the Thousand Goddesses Gathering with so many people, and it's so beautiful. And this is the time. I mean, our spirit teams are bringing us together. Before we part, though, I had very clear instructions that a mother wants me to lead a very brief healing, sort of activation, love healing.
Absolutely. It doesn't have to be brief either. Long as
it won't be that long. I'll just share it that way. But she specifically said, make sure you do this before the interview is over. So was there anything else that you wanted to cover in this interview? I mean,
I think we can catch what we need to on the follow-ups.
Okay.
So what I would prefer to do is take this in, absorb it, have a couple of exchanges with you during the week, and then you know, like I said, I've learned this, you know, for the most part, in the last 7 years, working social media, because I'm kind of a freak about it. You know, I'm a numbers freak and a metrics freak. But I learned a lot of it in my old life as a senior executive. And that takes repetition. It takes, one wave, two wave, three wave. So I think we could build it and maybe do another one in a week, and then another one in a week, and then just right up to the last day. Yeah.
Okay. I'm also wondering if maybe some of these priestesses who are going to be leading the mini ceremonies might be interviewed by you too, if that might be of any interest.
Absolutely.
Yeah, let me run that by them, and then whoever feels like they can do it, I'll connect you. These are amazing women. Amazing. Yeah. I mean,
that's what we're here for. This is exactly what we're here for. So if they want a platform to put out a wider awareness of who they are and the overall message, because that's really what we're all representing, this is a great place to do it. I'm not just saying it because I'm part of it, but it's gaining a lot of steam, and this is right in line with the ascension that this energy we call Soulogy is taking. So yeah.
Thank you, Todd. Wow. Okay, so do you want me to do this mother love piece?
Absolutely.
All right. So I encourage everyone who's with us right now, either live or listening later, to close your eyes and have your feet solidly on the ground. And take a deep breath in and let it go. And take another deep breath into the bottom of your lungs and let it go. Now I invite you to visualize that you have an energy cord that drops from your tailbone. It starts at the top of your spine and it comes down your spine, and then it drops from your tailbone straight to Mother's heart in the center of the planet. And when it reaches her heart, she actually opens her heart up and grasps the end of this energy cord that you have dropped to her, and she holds it tightly to the very core of her heart. That's how much she loves each one of us, is she holds us tightly to her heart. Beautiful. And now I want you in your heart to feel the love that you have for Mother Gaia, for everything that she has gifted you with, all the food that you have eaten, all the water that you have drunk, all the air that you've breathed, gifted by her beautiful standing ones, tree people. So fill your heart up with this love and gratitude, because you wouldn't even have a body right now if it wasn't for her also. All the bones that you've got, all the minerals in the bones, tissue in your body, blood in your bloodstreams, all sources from Mother. So fill your heart up with this love and gratitude, and then send this love down to your tailbone and down this Mother's love cord connection straight to Mother's heart. Beautiful. And now I want you to ask Mother to send her love back up this love cord connection, straight up into your energy body and into your heart. Beautiful. And then one more time from your heart, send love straight to Mother, straight to her heart. Love and gratitude. This is how we're meant to be connected with her. She's calling us home, all of us. She loves us so much. And take another deep breath in. And let it go. And then whenever you're ready to open your eyes and come back. Whew.
Yeah. Yeah, I got like this thing in my left ear. It was like, usually they're tones and stuff, but this one was like almost like a little bug got in there. It was like going zzz.
Oh, really? You got an energy buzz there from her. I don't know what. I don't know how to explain that.
Well, Morgan with Morgan, I was introduced to her. You know, in
Ah,
fact, she's jumped right into her more than once, and had
wow.
discussions with me. Oh yeah, it was like straight up. You know, in fact, I think it was last year when she came the first time, and it was like on the third or fourth day, and it was the first time it happened to her, and it jumped, and I mean, she jumped into her, and she had to have a discussion with me. You know.
Well, you may well be one of her chosen sons to really step forward to serve her in ways that many of her other sons aren't ready to do yet. That's what I'm feeling and hearing.
Well, I know and then later on, she pops in with me. It's when it was actually this year it started happening as Morgan was coming back. And that's what I was kind of laughing earlier, because she would come in and it was like, you know, she had like a ruler in her hand. She's like, "Wake up, Sonny." You know what? You need to get, you know, and it was like, but, no, no seriousness. Yeah. And,
She
had
can be a
some,
taskmaster. Yeah,
mhm.
I definitely have experienced that with her.
And she told me, she said, I sent one of my own. So get jiggy. Get jiggy.
Funny.
Get off the couch.
That's
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, no, she's calling us all.
Yeah.
It's time. It's
Yeah.
time to bring this new world in. She's like, new world's coming in. And
Yeah.
you know, I know we're gonna stop here, so I'll just there's so much more I could say, but
Yeah.
I would be overjoyed to pick up again on this and
Yeah.
talk
No,
more.
that's the plan. But I'm going to be in flux till Tuesday. I'm probably going to be on the road Monday or Tuesday morning, but I should be landing by 3 o'clock Tuesday Eastern. I should be wherever I'm going to be staying for the next 10 days. And somebody asked, oh yeah. Yeah. So yeah, let's do it. I mean, you know, Tuesday, mid-afternoon or early evening, I'll be ready.
Yeah, just send me a message. And I do also just want to say that if people are interested in my books, they're ebooks. They're available on my website or anywhere on the internet from any major book venue or not so major. And the Great Mother Bible is an activation book in its own. People are activated reading it. And the little mini meditation that I just did, there is a longer version of it on my website, you know, marecromwell.com. It's called the Mother's Love Chord Connection. And Mother specifically asked that I create that because she said she misses all of her children being connected, deeply, energetically connected with this love cord connection to her. We all used to be, our ancestors were. But I know, so just let me know. I am thrilled that we have done this interview. I cannot tell you. Giving you big air hugs, Todd. Huge air hugs.
Hey, I surrendered and I serve. I've got nothing else to say.
Well, you and I are in this together then, and this is where we're finding each other now because Mother needs us to find each other.
Yeah. I want to just tell somebody asked a question real quick. So Three Feathers is on tonight at 9 Eastern, but and Shakina is on at 1 o'clock tomorrow. And it's going to be, the show with Shakina is going to be Shakina Rose is going to be a very unique show for us, 575, something like that. But we're actually going to incorporate video and music, a lot like my radio show. So it's going to be the first for us. We have the capability to do that now. Thank you, Mother Goddess. So you take care. I enjoyed it. I support this. I'm with you. We will film it on the ground, and we will get the word out there through our network at a minimum, you know, over the next, what do we got here? 5-6 weeks?
6 weeks.
Yeah, over the next 6 weeks, we'll just do it like clockwork, and we've got some help we got some people to help us do that. That's
fantastic. And please send donations, friends. Please send donations. We need the funding in. Send
to me, if you would. You can put whatever links you want here. But if you could send to me the links for the, you know, for the books, for the website, and for your PayPal or whatever your donation, so that I can put those in my. I can store those on my computer and have access to them when I put posts out. Okay.
Beautiful.
All right. See you later.
All right.
Thank you, everybody, for joining us.
Thank
See
you
in
everyone.
3 hours. Take care.